Woo! 3/8 is enough for me. Um, Hello, welcome. We are Once Upon a Roll. We play D&D, and that's what we're doing tonight. It's been a couple weeks, so last we had left off, you have returned from the Bloodlands, from the front lines where you had assisted Sunlar in closing a rift that was dangerously on the verge of becoming a Nexus Rift, a more powerful, more unstable, more volatile version of one of these interdimensional rifts that each time one is opened has led to the Bloodlands themselves expanding and pushing further into not only Kian territory, but the material plane as a whole by extension. But you'd returned back to the camp which you had left from maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours prior. A bit longer than that, but still nighttime. And Sunlar had woken and taken the next group and departed, leaving just you and Chimera group, who approached, and at least one member of them, a man you later learned named Nilo, had a lot of questions for you. A lot of worried, maybe enthusiastic, curious, probing questions that led to a couple of you walking away, some of you hanging around, and eventually two of you deciding to go off and speak with this man in private, those two being Suggestion and Persephone. While those two are talking, Bishop, Francesca, Frederica, Melody, and Ezekiel, you either stayed around the campfire, enjoying some food, relaxation. The presence of these two other members of the group, a human woman with looks like various bits of leather and chainmail armor, two blades at her side, an axe and a sword. She seems like a athletic fighter type. That and a Goliath of a man with a great hammer that is currently uh, resting on the head of the hammer as it's beside him as he sits and gazes into the fire. You knew Suggestion went off, and Persephone had excused herself a moment ago, but at the moment, those two are nowhere to be seen. So, is there anything that. And does anyone have any questions? Anything to add? Any clarification needed? If not, is there anything the five of you wish to do? Still haven't slept yet. Still, Bloodlands obviously still fresh on your mind, although the taste and smell is just now beginning to fade a bit.
I believe the lady had offered me. What was the food she offered me? I
I think it
forget.
was like some jerky of some kind.
Yeah. So Ezekiel's eating that, and as the bitter, rancid taste from the Bloodlands is leaving his mouth, he's um, finding out how hungry he was, because that I can't imagine blood everywhere, and tasting just rot in your mouth is exactly the most appetizing thing. So as his appetite comes back to him, he's just going to town on the jerky.
Uh, f- Before they left, Frederica was listening intently to the conversation they were having, really thinking about what types of questions she should be asking. If there is more that they can do other than just fight, is it really a losing battle? Is she naive to think that they can pursue more? Are they not getting fast enough, strong enough? She stares intently at the fire, almost looking for an answer that doesn't come to her. Before she realizes, she's just pacing back and forth, thinking, the thoughts just clawing away at her, at her hand, and she wonders. And she says out loud, what they were talking about earlier, they're wrong. I don't need to feel stupid for the choices that we've made so far. And I'd hate to admit that we're not asking the right questions. I don't know what they are. If Bloodlands, if that's not the answer, then what is?
Well,
It's a losing
Ezekiel,
battle. And I was
as he, oh, go on, sorry. Sorry.
no, you can go.
Well, it is certainly an interesting thought, though. Um, and not the good type of interesting. Ezekiel takes another like pull and bite into the jerky. It's more. I don't think it's completely invalid at all.
No, I'm not agreeing with them, not entirely. But there has to be some sort of balance, something that we're not looking into, something that we're not asking, figuring out.
Exactly. I don't think the way that we've been going about it is entirely wrong, but they have a point. It's not. I mean, how long has this gone on for? And it seems that we are digressing. We saw it for ourselves. Um, and I don't know. I don't know right now, but I do know that pacing around is, man, it's a supplement for something more. I've had my fill. Do you want to work out this energy? Maybe think we can train a little bit? I'm not entirely beat. Ezekiel kind of like stretches his shoulder, putting his left arm in his right arm's elbow and stretches a little bit. Um, we can talk about it.
What is there what is there else to say, Ezekiel? I don't know.
I don't either, but I
So
won't
you're having
lie.
this conversation in front of the other two. There's it's Melody there, and then there's the two from Chimera group that came over to, uh, I guess, enjoy your company.
Okay.
So the
Um,
woman, she speaks up. If my two kappa mean anything, I feel it's a good thing that at least you acknowledge that there are questions out there that need to be asked. Lots of lots of people, not just those in the wardens, but I say especially those that are just your lay folk looking in. hoping that this resolves itself one way or another, aren't even bothering to acknowledge that questions might exist. So I wouldn't worry about asking the right or the wrong one, but knowing that there just are questions out there that are worth pursuing is a step that many aren't willing to take.
Well, I mean, when you see something like we saw in the Bloodlands, and you're soon to see, um, being asked a question like that does kind of dawn on someone how, in a way, I don't think what's happening is wrong, but I don't think that it is the correct solution. Um, I don't know what I think right now, but I do know that I would like to offer you. I don't know if Frederica here would care to join me, but you look like you look strong. Would you care to join us in some training or something? I don't want you to waste your energy before you go, but just
No, it certainly seems like we'll be up next if the patterns are to be followed. So I'd rather be mm, awake, blood flowing, limbered up if it is our time next. So sure, I have no problems joining you.
how about you, friend? I say to the Bronc man with who you said a giant hammer.
Yeah. So he's about he's a bit over maybe 7.5 feet tall, close to 8 feet
Wow.
probably. Yeah, he's a Goliath, so big guy. Hmm. He looks to her, looks to you, Fred, glances over at Melody as well, and kind of gives a little bit of a shrug. I think I'm fine right here. Appreciate the offer, though.
All right, Frederica, would you care to join me?
Um, Frederica hesitates for a moment, not because she's tired or because she doesn't want to work out, but she's, settling in or taking in the fact that even though she doesn't know these two, she somewhat knows what they're about to experience, and maybe not exactly. She takes a deep breath. Yeah, of course, no question about it. Oh, keep in mind it's not just the muscles that we need to stretch or keep the blood flowing. It's also, and I know this sounds a bit silly, but it's also up here. And she points to the head. You have
Of
to
course.
fortify your mind. You have to think about the things that you hold dear and
Oh,
continue to press on, regardless of what you see, hear, or doubt. More than anything, you must rely on each other, without doubt.
I see. Thought for a moment you're about to recommend that we do some lifts while answering riddles, but I guess that makes more sense.
yeah.
Uh,
I thought she meant just reflexes.
Maybe I would have, but if I'm being honest, I felt a bit crazy in there. Well, it seems to be common amongst us. It is crazy what we're doing.
Right.
Isn't that the
Yeah,
truth?
and it's more than fair. I guess that wasn't. What a haunting experience. I almost locked it away already. Yeah. Um. There is a bit of a mania that consumes you when you're there. It's a
And
good
you have to rely
recommendation.
on each other because you don't necessarily know when it happens, how it happens. Your mind just starts changing, so you have to rely on each other to know each other and have some sort of balance. I know that's not much, but it has helped us, anyways, or maybe me.
She nods, and even the Goliath man, he glances in your direction as you talk and seems to be internalizing it. But the woman, she gets up, stretches a bit, and is ready to follow you, Ezekiel, and Fred if you're going as well.
I'm gonna follow Ezekiel's lead.
All right.
Just real
So
quick,
Hmm?
Ezekiel's gonna go over to Melody, check up on her. Hey, you okay to
Yeah.
be here by yourself? Well, of course we have our friend here, but
Yeah, I saw you and Fred getting up, so I was just gonna follow along. Follow your
okay.
lead that looks like Fred is following. So just gonna be right behind her and you guys.
Well,
Just a moment.
get
There
ready.
is something that you can do. You could play a
Hmm?
tune. It's been a while since we've heard some music.
Absolutely.
Oh, I mean, if you're in the mood, I remember last time you said you weren't up for it, but you know, if not, I can try singing, but I can't promise that would go well. They might just run into the Bloodlands.
Oh, nonsense. I mean, I'm sure you'll do fine. Besides, I could use some rest before.
Way over the rainbow.
Ezekiel blushes a little bit and then joins. Uh, I hope I got you in a singing mood.
Somewhere in the distance, a wild cat responds.
Oh my god. This cat's in the Bloodlands?
Hope not.
You've summoned the Rakshasa back.
Bruh.
Not even an applause. Gosh, you guys are lame.
Wow. I think you kind of cut off there. I don't know how long you carried on there. I think your mic.
I
just
don't
cut
know
out.
either.
Okay, what I'm hearing is you want to hear me sing again. Okay.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Yes,
Somewhere
and action.
over the rainbow, melody.
Hey, wow.
She
You
People
really
want
do
to
know how to
sing
sing.
for yeah. How'd I do?
Fred, You
That
you
was
really do know how to play the bagpipes. Wow. I mean, she looks over to Ezekiel and gives him a thumbs up.
certainly inspired. Was it an
Inspired?
inspiring?
Was it? Go ahead and make a performance check.
Which one of us?
Are you
Me,
performing?
bitch.
assuming
I performed.
I
Were you
I
said it. You said it. You
I
know
did
what?
it.
No. Okay, you did join in a little bit there. Go ahead and make
Yeah.
a performance check.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. If you just said I joined in, I wouldn't because Max actually did it.
I tried to.
Mm-hmm.
I heard she was freestyling. I got scared.
Torse.
I got
A
intimidated.
torse.
But what horse it?
All right, let's see if your D20 listens to you. Have you imprinted upon it strongly enough?
Well, I think so. It's a 15. So it was
wow, one upper.
yeah. It was 14, and the 20 was looking at me, but it wasn't face up. So yeah.
Dang.
Crazy.
You should have looked at it from the top.
I'm putting it in dice jail.
Okay. All right. So your voices, though maybe a bit off key, you actually managed to harmonize off key that it doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like you get a group of people together that can't sing for shit solo, and they actually sound kind of good singing together. It's that kind of.
It's almost like a shanty at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you just come
Shanty.
up with those lyrics on your own? I've never heard that
I,
song before. That's quite the concept. Going over a rainbow. What is? Do you think? What is a rainbow? Do you think?
I think it's like, if I remember correctly, which I don't, I believe it is a type of bag. So if you go over the bag, then you're allowed to make money or something like that.
whoa.
I don't remember
Okay.
where I heard it, but
I've heard it's
I was
a bit
told.
of. I've always told it's a bit of the Feywild bleeding in to our planet. Comes
Absolutely.
and goes.
the trees told me, or was it a dream? I can't remember.
I've been told it was like a crack of the Feywild rippling into our plane and making something beautiful.
The Goliath nods, like he's heard that too.
I'm gonna point to him and do like a open hand like shrug, like, yeah, you get it.
Yeah, this guy gets it.
Now,
Well,
I'm just curious. This is a random question. Hold on, Ezekiel. Have you ever thrown anyone? Talking to the big one, tall one,
Mm,
tall one.
not anyone that's wanted it.
Like, have you ever launched anyone in an attacking manner? It just occurred to me.
Yes, not anyone that's ever, not with any consenting partners. Let's say, plenty of enemies in the midst of battle. Yes, come at me and have to flip them, hurl them. Sure. But if
No reason.
all of
Whoa,
you
whoa, but
are
if.
going on
Oh.
to, sorry, he goes and grabs his like the great hammer, uses it as leverage to stand himself up. But if all of you are going off to what was it, get a workout in or sing or whatever, then well, I have no desires of staying here on my own. So I suppose I shall come with you.
Ezekiel does like a clasping motion and goes, yes.
All right. And so, do the five of you begin to head away from the?
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw this little field just over here. It's a little bit open in the.
All right. You guys get a game of 2-on-2 flag football with.
We have enough people for Red
some-
Rover.
Yeah, there you
What
go.
the fuck is Red Rover?
Red Rover sent Frederica on over.
That's crazy.
My arm.
Are you doing it? You're doing it. You're doing it.
What is it?
All right. So Red Rover is is a game that they used to play in elementary, middle school for some reason. If you wanted to injure children, where a bunch of the kids stand in a line and they link arms or hands, and
Yep.
they call one over that's like standing across from them, and the goal is to try to run through the line and break the link, like break the how they're grasping their arms. So either one, you like snap some kids' arms running through them, or two, you get basically clothesline yourself because you can't.
Or three, you intimidate them enough that they open their arms at
So
the
they
last
open
second.
up, yeah. See,
Yep.
my strategy was always like I just ran at a person, not the.
Yeah.
With feeling.
You like buck them a little bit right before.
Mm-hmm.
Good. That's horrible. Oh.
So I don't understand how this is supposed to be training. She asks as Melody, Ezekiel, and the two Chimera group individuals stand in the line across from Frederica.
Well, it's a team exercise,
Uh-huh.
and it also teaches you. You know what? Fair enough. We can start. We'll send
Alright, so
one
the
more
order
over
is
though. This is fun.
Goliath, Ezekiel, Fighter Woman, Melody. Pick your hole, Frederica. Who are you trying to run between?
Who am I trying to run between?
Yeah, so you have the Goliath and Ezekiel.
Goliath and Ezekiel. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Strength checks from everybody, please.
What?
Fred,
I'm gonna
you
get
can
my
make
arm
yours.
broke.
You can make yours with advantage since you get a running start.
Oh, let's go! I got a 20.
As
Crazy.
this is
I got a 20.
bamboozled.
And bamboos.
It imparted on the dice. Okay, that's a
Good,
21.
I'm just
but
getting
it's a
your
nat
crits out of
20.
the way.
Okay.
Wait, this is what? Strength save? No, just
Just
strength?
strength
Yes.
checks. Yep, just strength. You can rage if you want a bonus to it. You already have advantage, never mind.
I'll
give you
true.
a bonus if you rage.
Okay, yeah, let's do
Who
the
knows
one.
what happens?
Yeah.
Who knows what
I
kind of
can't-
rage you'll get?
I can't wait for my arm to break.
That's crazy. Wait, everybody's rolling? I mean, or just.
No,
No,
she's
it's
choosing
just me, the
between
Goliath,
and
and Fred.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
fucking
Fred.
God. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, because I
Oh,
rolled
thank
with
God.
that. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Some melody from the other way, like the shock wave of the impact, just sends her flying. Even though
Do I
she's
get a
not even-
bonus for raging? I'm just curious.
Sure. What did you roll on the rage thing, though?
I didn't roll yet. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
As
As
Fred
you add your
starts
rage damage
barreling,
bonus to the roll too. Sure.
as Fred starts barreling over to Ezekiel, it kind of dawns on him that he's no longer a child, and that's also not a child.
Yeah, not a child.
So
That's not
this
a
is
child. The
kinda
you
like-
feel the grip of the Goliath next to you, his massive hand tighten around your forearm, and that like kind of snaps you out of like this little bit of worry, and you steel yourself, and your
Yeah.
muscles bulge as you brace yourself. Let's go.
We've got
Come
this.
on, come on.
Bring it, Fred.
You're not getting over this, Rainbow.
I don't.
Sorry.
Oh, fuck. Oh, bueno. That's that's crazy.
Frederica.
19 and a 20. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Wait, that's a 20. That was a natural 20 though.
No, it was a natural. It was just the two that I rolled with. It doesn't matter. Okay, go.
All right, so you had a natural 22, didn't you, Ezekiel?
Yeah, I had a natural 20.
All right, so here's what happens. As you aim for the gap between them, and you sprint just recklessly forward, Frederica, trying to break their grip on each other and break through the line, you don't manage to do that. Their grip holds firm. However, what does happen is you just keep going and you start to drag the entire line back. Like basically Ezekiel and his Goliath are clenched onto each other and being drugged by you as you sprint through them until eventually all of you just end up collapsed on the ground. Ezekiel and the Goliath both still clasping arms. The fighter and Melody left behind at some other point. Melody's on the ground, sprawled out somewhere for her natural one. So you did not break through their arms, but you did drag them with you as they tried to hold you back. So you guys all just ended up like.
This is pretty exhilarating.
Yeah. Ezekiel like thinks about unclasping his hand, but from the blunt force of that, is now like unable to move his hands and unclench.
Yeah, like your arm is currently in a vice grip from the. But the Goliath, he's there. You
Yeah.
guys are sprawled out. Okay.
Fred,
So while
Fred, some help, please.
she's on the ground with you, you're all just.
Okay, we're.
She just freight trained through you guys and derailed the entire line herself as well, and everybody loses. Congratulations.
Oh yeah.
So while this is happening, Francesca Bishop, anything particular from the two of you, or
Yeah.
you guys going to rest up for the night, or what? You guys had last thing you guys did was get a bit pissed off at everyone's best friend Nilo and leave the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, I would talk to Francesca since we went often similar directions. Can you believe the nerve of that guy? God, he got me so angry.
It is truly what we all need. Some guy coming along telling us the world will be over despite our best efforts.
I know, it's just people like that, He just, he just gave me this slimy feeling, like you're a coward, someone that likes to take shortcuts. I mean, I'm not an idiot. I know that fight out there, it's never ending. I know it's hopeless if that's all we do, but we don't have the answers, and I mean, with the way he's thinking, we're never gonna get him.
Truly, I have bigger problems than trying to solve this whole world, I'm merely a soldier. I go where I am told and I do what I am told to do. Maybe that is not good enough for him, but that is all I desire. I like a simple life.
Yeah, I can resonate with that. I mean, that's what I was for a lot of my youth. Well, not that old, but you know what I mean.
Yes. Well, when you do not know much about yourself, it is much easier to just listen to others.
Yeah, and I understand. I mean, I know what it's like to be a soldier too, and I mean, it doesn't mean that that's all we're gonna do. We're not just gonna fight. I mean, I know that's what we have to do now, but there's a reason why
Yes,
I'm
but
trying
of
to.
course, we can be rallied to bigger causes, but if you are not giving me a cause to rally behind, why should I listen to you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if he was at the head of the wardens, I mean, we would all been
Our hope
dead months
would
ago.
truly be lost. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm trying to do more myself in the ways that I can. That's why I'm trying to get this whole magic rune thing. Trying to learn the way magic works and implement that into my weapons, into technology that can help us fight. And hopefully in the future, I mean, I never thought much about it before, but I kind of want to take a crack at those keys at some point. I mean, maybe I could really do something there and figure out a key that can close Nexus rifts. But
All into time. All into time.
yeah, and then for now, we got to keep doing what we got to do, and that's holding the line until we
Yes.
can get it worked
I,
out.
I can agree with the fact that I do not desire to be on the front line. I like to be where I can help people who need it, but if it is where I'm needed, then that is where I shall be.
My thoughts exactly.
I'm glad that I am not the only one who was slightly off put. It is nice to have someone to speak my mind to.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was going crazy, to be honest. I mean, I don't even know how that group, or maybe just him, I don't know, got to even be at the level where we're being considered to even go out to the Bloodlands. I mean,
Yes, do you recognize them? I mean, I have not been with the Wardens very long, so I do not know if they are Wardens or not, but I just do not think they give off that vibe.
yeah, definitely not. I mean, I know there's all types, but they ain't seen like the Warden types. There's something really off-putting about them, but I guess we're short-staffed, or I don't know what it is. But I definitely wouldn't want to work with them directly. I mean,
Yes, I certainly will not be caught alone with that group.
no. I feel like they turn tail and run the second things got a little too crazy or a little too hectic. Leave us to die. That's what they feel.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Whoever runs faster survives, right?
Yeah, that's the type that group is.
Well, let us hope that none of our comrades are foolish enough to fall into any traps.
Yeah, and I hope that doesn't shake their resolve. I mean, I get it that there's a lot of uncertainty, but you gotta keep strong and focused on the mission task.
Yes. I think I will go recover from our combat encounter. It's been a long day.
Um. Yeah, I mean that you could do that. I know we've done a lot today. Maybe I should go on those knuckleheads. Sure, not getting into trouble.
You
I
hear a
will watch
shout
from a
of
distance.
rage, followed
Oh.
by a clatter.
Ah, well, that sounds promising. And I will wander towards that direction.
Yeah, same.
Mm. You come across, Frederica, Melody, the Goliath, everybody, with with the uh, with the whirlpool eyes. Anyways, suggestion, Persephone. The two of you had been speaking with Nilo when the topic of negotiations came up. And as you had each shown willing to speak, he underwent a sudden shift, his body temporarily going slack as he stood there before regaining his composure, then speaking, but not with his voice, not with his eyes, instead a feminine voice greets you. So, let's negotiate then. You can refer to me as E.
Am I to presume you've been present this entire time?
Only since this private conversation began. It's a part of the deal I have with Nilo here. Though the details of that are between him and I.
Fair enough. So, I mean, at the very least, I would need some understanding of who I'm speaking with.
As I said, you may refer to me as E. I
That's
am
well and
an
good.
envoy of a greater power. But as with everything, there is value, there's a price, and that most certainly does include information. One would not be wise to give it away for free. How much is this information worth to you? I'll be forth with the two of you. I have no interest in bartering for souls. So if that was something that you came in worrying about, I would suggest you would hope that puts you at a little bit of ease. Bartering for souls for those who don't promise more of an upside, and with you, with Nilo, I see far more of an upside than the value of a solitary soul. Instead, I am interested in days.
Days.
Indeed. Uh, and something that I have found is a simple way to convey, and when dealing with mortals, the quantity of life force. You can consider it a unit of life force if that makes more sense to you, but most I've seen prefer to deal in days.
So, are you talking about a day where you're in control?
I'm referring to a day as a unit of your mortal life force.
So, days of our lives.
Correct. That is a fair way to think of it.
Interesting. And what can you offer?
Plenty. I have been authorized to negotiate with a vast amount. If you don't mind. Nilo raises a hand, and you can see he's wearing a glove. Taking off the glove, you notice that there's a few rings on his fingers. He takes one of them off. Or rather, E does. And she puts it on the ground between you. You hear her cast a spell in Infernal. And around you, you notice a circle of glyphs surround the three of you. You count 10 at a glance, and one begins to fade almost immediately. I feel negotiations are both more interesting as well as expedient if there's a level of honesty involved. While those glyphs remain lit, no one within the circle will be capable of telling a lie, myself included. I say we have till the last glyph fades to come to terms with a negotiation or not. So, as I said, I am interested in days, and I'm willing to offer. Well, I'm not going to put all my cards on the table. You are curious about for whom I am an envoy. I am willing to share with you that information, but what is it worth to you?
Has your master already spared us?
Spared you.
Yes.
I do not believe that my master is necessarily interested in you as individuals. You see, they are probably the single most driven being throughout all of eternity to rid this plane, our home, and everywhere else of the demonic scourge. So, no, I don't believe that they would have noticed you. They are far too busy with other matters.
Like-minded with the wardens, then. At least a
Well,
part.
approximately 50%. They smile.
You know, that's very hard to fathom. I mean, I desire to not have to fight demons again. I mean, I've had quite extensive. Um. Hmm.
Extending the arm out towards you and bringing the hand towards you, the back of the hand towards the two of you, kind of gestures in the space between, and as E brings their hand down, a very thin silver needle materializes between their fingers. You could have answers, but information has a cost.
Hmm. I
can see you're
was.
hesitant. One of the glyphs, the first glyph, has completely vanished at this point, and the second is beginning to dim.
No, no. Hesitant, no. I'm unsure of what to ask. The price doesn't matter. Not really.
Your friend Persephone here seemed to have doubts as to the. Uh,
Oh no, it's not doubt. It's really more like what suggestion just said. There's too many questions. Which one is the right one? Who knows? Could be any question, you'd answer it, but is it the right one? And that's sort of very trying to calculate which is correct. And I mean, the price is whatever. It doesn't matter much.
well, how about this then? Since it does seem like the two of you are more than willing to negotiate in good faith, I give you the information at a premium. A single day. And point up extends the needle between the two of you.
From each.
Hmm?
From me and her.
I'm sorry, I cut off. I think I'm lagging a little bit. What did you say?
Oh. From each of us. One day.
Either. It's more of a display, so that we're all on the same page. I appreciate and understand that this concept is foreign to the two of you. So the quicker that we can all understand what exactly we are dealing with, the quicker that we can really get into negotiation. The second glyph has faded.
Sure. I'll do it. I am not. I am a mere mortal being, after all.
So you go and with an extended finger bring it down, and as soon as your finger comes in contact with the tip of the needle, you can feel it pierce the skin, a slight sting, a jolt through your body as a drop of blood makes its way down the needle and eventually seems to get absorbed into it. You feel no different, but at the same time, something has happened. Hmm. I am E, envoy of Zariel, former Archduchess of the First, dedicated to the victory of the blood war over the demons. And former Sola of Mount Celestia. Would you like more information on that whom I serve? She asks, the needle still there.
Does any of that? Would I know any of that?
Could you make a religion check, please?
Okay. Not no, I guess, but it was like I
Ringing
guess like a
bells.
tale of
Gotcha.
something, a legend. Not like I'm sitting here looking up devilology.
Devilology.
God damn it.
Feeling lucky?
Okay. No, but I use Pact of the Talisman, which gives me a D4. I pray for a 4.
We pray.
Okay. Does a 10 make a
Average.
difference?
Perfectly average. All right, let's see. Average knowledge of. So the name itself doesn't necessarily stick out to you. It could very well even be a false name, just as you maybe have sussed out that E is not the true name of this devil that you're speaking with. But it is common knowledge that there are 9 hells, 9 layers, and the title, well, that he says here, she says here, former Archduchess of the First. You can assume that is referring to the first layer of the hells, and seems pretty prominent, pretty powerful a position. An entire layer of the hells, Archduchess. That doesn't seem like a small player at all.
And presumably within this zone, you are telling the truth.
Well, were I to lie, I probably would say the true Archduchess of the First, instead of former. But I'm not here to discuss injustices. I'm here to make a deal.
So, Persephone, thinking in her head right now, is formulating a plan, and if I really am in a zone of truth, I will not be able to execute my plan. Correct? I can't tell a lie, right?
Correct.
So, she's, with all intents and purposes, going to turn towards suggestion, and she's going to try to utter words to him that don't come out, I suppose, because we're in a zone of truth.
Okay. And you can see, like, Persephone does seem to get a bit choked on her words, and E smiles like she's seen this before. I feel it's much more fun, interesting to negotiate when one cannot lie. It requires a special kind of cleverness. Lying is easy.
You are you? Oh, this must be zone. Stephanie, I thought better of you.
Well, I had to test it. You know,
I see. Fair point.
have to make sure it's working. You know, got to poke it with a stick. Can't just not.
So the needle is still extended if more information about this former Archduchess of the First is desired. If not, you simply need refuse.
Oh, that's, to be honest, all I needed.
Hmm.
For that, yes.
Without moving the arm, the hand, or the needle, the eyes move from suggestion to you, Persephone, as if to inquire.
There is one bit of knowledge that would be most helpful about this entity that I know nothing about, but sounds, decently important. So she's going to extend her hand and, towards the needle.
Aye. And prick the finger.
Yes.
A single drop of blood. One day. Do
Does
you
she?
have?
Hmm?
Hmm?
Go
What did you
ahead.
say? Go ahead.
No, am I
I
to
was gonna
ask a
just
question, or are you?
Yeah, you can ask a question.
Does she? Does Zariel still? The, d- does she still have considerable? No. Is she still as strong as she was when she wasn't former of these things, titles?
Certainly. If not, there's a white hot fire of rage that has been stoked within her. You see, Zeriel cares not of the rampant politicking of the hells. She cares only for one thing since she came into being, and that is the eradication of the demons. Nothing more, nothing less.
I see. I see. That is very helpful. Important to know, I believe.
Now, to be completely forthwith, losing the title has certainly lost her some esteem and pull within the hells. Now, if you refer to strength as political strength, then clearly not as much, but, well, I believe that was one day's worth. And saw her stop, like E did stop and herself from saying more. The third glyph has faded.
What would one do to be able to raise in the ranks of the hells?
There are plenty. It depends on, of course, where in the chain you're referring to. Simple soldiers rise through the ranks by following orders, by achieving the goals of their superiors. Now, once you get to the level of Archduke and Archduchess, that's when it gets a little less straightforward. But I'm not here to talk politics. We're here to come to an agreement, to make a deal. I've shown you what I want. You've proven all too willing to accept the, well, currency in which we're bartering. So I guess all that is needed is, what do you want in return?
Well, me personally, I would like the power to stop the demons as well.
She looks to Persephone.
I don't know that personal power can do that. It's. The numbers are innumerable, obviously, and. I don't know
What
if
about
this.
what about the source? Where the demons come from?
You see E's eyes widen a little bit as if gears turning behind them, and she jumps in. The secrets? How much do you know about the rifts?
If they die here, they're not dead. Either of them, I surmise. They just go home and come back again and again and again and again. And we are finite.
Well, true. What you are missing is an important part. That traversing between planes, that opening these portals, these rifts on either side, are not something that can be done with no cost. Perhaps you've come across the payment in one form or another.
Sacrifices on this side.
She raises the needle up to be between the two of you and in your line of sight. Not just on this side. Life force. As well as that of the soul. Are necessary. If it interests you, I could grant you the power to command the rifts in a similar fashion.
But
You
would
could
something like
open by
that
blood.
cost?
Well, they are opened with blood. So too can they be closed with blood. And the price will, of course, vary from case to case. A larger or more powerful rift would require more energy to open and thus more energy to close. The good thing is, it does not need to be your blood that's used as a price. For example, you could use the abyssal spawn themselves as fuel, as a source to close the very rifts they came through. I don't see a problem with that. Who could be angry?
What would it cost to get this power from you?
Hmm. As she's holding the needle, she moves her hand as if like fanning out a deck of cards a little bit, and a second needle almost materializes behind the first. A day, a day.
A day. Not 2 days.
Every night, a drop of blood. Every night, a day. Think of it as a investment, an upkeep cost. Something on top of what you might need to otherwise pay for the opportunity to close or open these rifts.
Hmm.
This is a negotiation. I am here to make a deal. The next glyph has faded. You're down to 6.
Until when then? Imagine, presumably, we end our days.
Is that too steep a cost? Very well. Focus on this small mote of flame in the offhand, in the other hand that's not holding the. Brings up 2 small vials. A day, till the vials are full. Then we'll consider the cost paid. The vials themselves may be about like test tubes, little be 4 or 5 inches in length, with glass stoppers.
I think I can discern how many days that would be to fits in a vial.
Go ahead
Yeah,
and make
that's
an intelligence.
absolutely what Persephone's trying to do too. Is guesstimate.
Again.
What is Persephone doing?
Oh, what? You know, suggestion is trying to figure out. Is that like half of her life, or you know?
Oh my fucking.
Is that good?
No, I'm adding the D4.
Okay. Persephone, anything?
Oh my
You doing?
god, let's go.
What's that? I guess Persephone is not here.
That's 11.
Okay. I don't know, somewhere between like maybe 100 words to, like, it can't be no more than like a. Probably close to between like 100 and 500 maybe.
100 and 500.
Yeah, you got an 11, dude.
No, I know.
So the first deal just effectively, cuts your life in half because every day you use it, you'll eventually. I mean, it'll be half life, but if it ends a war, but would it end a war? Because you'd still be opening these rifts. It's all about the rifts opening in the first place. We need to stop them from opening, and then it's a problem. It's just perpetuating it, sort of, isn't it?
As I said, The rifts can be opened by blood. They can also be closed by blood.
Is it any kind of rift?
She smiles. It would be quite counterintuitive for me to give you the ability to directly impede our goals, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would, and that's why I asked.
Unfortunately, I do think that negotiating that far is a bit beyond my allowance. I would much rather negotiate from the perspective of like minded goals, and certainly you, as well as Zariel, as well as my master, have one very strong like minded goal.
You're not wrong. It's not that I don't desire that, I just want to be clear about what it is that I'm bargaining for.
That is fair. Half of the glyphs are now gone. So let's just recap then. A day until the vials are. And in return, you can close abyssal rifts the same way that they are open. The appropriate amount of blood. I don't think I will. It would behoove us to allow the opening of abyssal rifts. So, how about instead, on the opening side, you could, if you so choose, open ones to the hells. I'm not saying that you ever will. I'm not saying that you want to. But it's never bad to have options, right? Say I'll toss that in for free.
What about here? From there?
I see no reason why not. Maybe the rules do differ a bit, depending on from which direction you're coming and going.
Well, if I'm going to open a rift to the house and, you know, so what does it take to open one from the house to here?
It would be much the same. Though, much like if you were to try to do well, anything in another's home or in another's territory, it might come with a bit of resistance. And of course, the size and area to which you would be able to uh, create this portal to from here to the Hells would be heavily restricted. Cannot be allowing full access to anywhere that you choose in the Hells, any size. You can march an army or send a couple thousand demons straight into the heart of our society. Cannot have that. Though I'm sure that didn't cross your mind, right?
No, not at all.
He glances down at the glyphs and then back up at you and gives a little bit of a grin. So, a day to be taken every night as payment for this ability until the vial is full, and then the payments may cease and you keep the powers in perpetuity. Does not sound too bad, yes?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's not a bad. Certainly useful, certainly helpful, certainly possibly potentially needed and required for continued existence, but is it enough? Would it make enough of a is it worth more than I hmm.
The fifth or the sixth glyph fades. There are four left.
What could you do with the
Not
whole thing?
necessarily. Hmm?
What could you do with
What
the
do you
whole
mean?
thing? The rest of my life, however long or short it may be. You can have all of the days. What does that get me?
Well, nothing, as you would be dead.
Well, no, I still have stuff to gain, even though I'm dead. Would cease to exist, whatever. It doesn't really matter, it's not really the point. But what could be bargained with something like that?
Well, everything that I do, every deal I make, every part of this negotiation and others are all to the effort of Master. Every bit of life that you would pay goes towards the efforts of killing the demons. Nothing more, nothing less.
How do you seal them? How do you prevent them? How do you stop them entirely? I mean, I don't know that you can kill them all, but if you could just. If there was force enough to bind them to whence they came.
You are perhaps getting a fair few many steps ahead of yourself. As to deal with the problem at its source, you must first deal with the problem that has spread from the source. So long as the rifts remain open, there is no permanent solution.
Let's call it for what it is. This needle taking our life force, presumably, is partly what you use, the self-same things that you use for your rifts or for closing rifts. Same. And if we make this deal for a portion of our lives, we would be spending the rest of our lives only able to close abyssal rifts.
If
If
you
not, we
expect
would
me
have.
to. Hmm?
Not, we would be wasting deal. We didn't spend every single day from today to the end of our lives fighting abyss.
Well, certainly this would expedite that process. You're looking for a way not only to win, but to do so in a way that is more productive than that which you have put in the effort so far. And would this not aid in that? The knowledge that you could approach any abyssal rift and with proportional life force, with proportional blood that it took to open that rift, close it. No need for your warden's little trinkets. No need to call upon the weave.
Do I know about that?
I don't think you know about that.
Beautiful.
You might have heard it passing, maybe, but you don't have as intimate knowledge of what Persephone does.
So then that would mean there is an alternative.
Yes, of
And
course.
and this power is reliable. It is rooted in the nature of the rifts themselves. She looks at Persephone. It will not break on you. Down to 3 glyphs.
So, was that your rift then? The one in the quarry?
She grins, but doesn't speak.
Cannot tell a lie. So, no answer.
You two seem to almost know each other now.
The simple matter is we have been doing this for eons. Long before your little plane even came into existence, we've been fighting this war.
So, take it home. What is your problem? Yes, our little plane, so leave it be. What do we have to do to get that?
You have to get rid of the, first and foremost, the presence of the abyss on this plane. If we were not here, you would have been swallowed whole by now.
Because you're here, people are summoning things from the abyss. Fought with those and them, and it's all madness
Do
all the
not
way down.
Do not blame my kind for the greed for power that you mortals have. Regardless of any presence here, there would be an innumerable amount of you seeking riches, power, control by whatever means they could come across, by magic manipulation. And you know it to be true. Please do not
No,
try to
I'm not talking
push the
about that.
blame to others.
No, I'm not pushing blame. It's the Bloodlands. It's everything that's happened here on the material plane. It's not the little deals for bits of magic and power and whatever selfish means that humans have, mortals or whatever. Because it's not limited to humans, obviously, but that's not the point. The point is that there were two wizards in this swamp and they were trying to summon Jewy Blacks to get rid of you lot. Chewy Blacks. Like, what?
He snorts and laughs a bit at that. It would take far more to summon a demon lord to the material plane, but I don't doubt that the greed and ignorance of mortals leads one to think that they are capable of such things.
So, really, the gist of all this is that we're helpless, we're powerless, there's nothing we can do, we're all doomed, and you're going to save us. Is that it?
No, that is not it at all. It is simply a matter of trade, you see. though we have gained a reputation for it, us devils are not the only ones that are capable of making deals. Certainly, you are aware. They might call it different things, they might honey their words, but those of the seven heavens make their own deals. They call them different things, and they are much more accepted amongst your kind than those with mine. Creatures of the Fae, creatures of all kinds of planes make deals with anyone else, and that's simply because, well, my home does not have all the resources, nor do the heavens, nor does the Feywild, nor does the material plane. You have something that we need, or we would not be talking. I have something that you need, or we would not be talking. 2 glyphs remain. I did not come to you pitching a surefire end to the blood war, to the presence of demons and likewise devils on your plane. For if I had that to offer, I wouldn't need. We would have done it already. But one thing you can be sure of is that this deal does, in part, lead us both to a similar goal. If down the line it diverges, well, we can cross that bridge when we get there.
So it's only a deal so long as you say it's a deal, and it's subject to change.
That's not what was said at all.
No, you said if we come to some disagreement down the line where
No,
the
they
goals
said
don't
that
align.
right now this deal is serving to have, like, they want the demons gone, you want in part the demons gone, so you have that in common. Your goal is obviously not only demons gone but devils as well, so what will diverge eventually? Like, we're on the same track right now, we have a similar goal. At some point down the line our goals may differ, because once the demons are gone you guys are going to want to get rid of the devils too, and she knows that. So that's the bridge cross eventually right now, and it's kind of written into the deal that you're not going to be able to use this against them necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, I get. But imagine, yeah, the whole enclosed double rifts. Hmm. I don't know. Too many days, I would say, to make a de facto deal at this moment. I mean, in all my time with the Warden so far, honestly, I've been putting down demons with an ease. I haven't even on a scratch. If I were to shave off this much extra time of my lives, I mean, how many more demons I put down? It's counterintuitive.
As your friend has pointed out, it matters not how many you put down. If they simply come back, you can rack up as many kills as you want. You haven't even left a scratch in a scratch. What I am offering you is a way to actually begin to take steps forward, steps towards the goal that you have thought thus far that you were working towards, but in reality you have not even begun to.
I understand that, but the price is a bit still cheap.
So in Persephone's mind right now, she's trying to figure out exactly how many, like, demon porters they've come across, rifts, and how many were devils, and which ones were the ones that gave them. Like, obviously, the Silver Lake, that was definitely a demonic, abyssal.
Mhm.
Think out of character, obviously. What is it? 3? First one. The first one, the one
I think the Knolls
on top
were.
of the hill.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the chain devil one. The first one was the one on top of the hill. Then the chain devil was one.
Oh, there was another one on top
Quarry
of
was
another
one.
hill.
There was on the plateau with the Knolls.
One with the machine.
And the.
Yes, that one.
Yeah. So 3.
There was
and
one
then
right outside of the Dominion.
Yeah.
one
The
outside
one
of
right
Dominion.
outside
That
of
was
was that
demon,
a
no?
devil? That was demon.
That was a demon.
That was demon.
That was
yeah.
demons because we fought
Yeah.
demons.
Oh, well, I'm trying to
Yeah.
count
was,
double
but it was
ones.
more like 4
Well,
or 5.
yeah, this is like Persephone would definitely remember all of them. So I'm trying to quickly
Yeah.
tally stuff, but it's
I think it's the first one, the Hellfire engine fight, the Chain Devil, and the Quarry. I think was it.
Yeah.
Everything
Every
else
other
has
one
been
has been
abyssal.
demon.
Yeah.
It makes sense for less infernal than abyssal. I mean, with
Yeah.
the numbers games, yeah.
so I can just not pay for a day, then I wouldn't have the ability, right?
No, this cost is in perpetuity. Well, at least until the vial is filled. Think of it as a down payment. A cost to put aside, a price to the access to the power. But if it is too steep, then I guess we can certainly negotiate. A day a week? Looking to suggestion.
A day a week. But
That is
the vials stay the same?
yes. Now you're down to a single glyph. The second to last glyph has just faded out, and the last one begins to fade.
Well, Persephone, do you think it worth it? Your experience and all your time with the wardens?
If the self-same things that flood from the rifts themselves can be used to close it again, it's really hard to argue with that. I've tried a bit and it's just, not really. And the ability to, open limited, as you've pointed out, portals into the hells could be of use.
If you need a bit of a cherry on top as well, I could throw in, let's say, a side negotiation, a little extra on the side. A mark upon each of you, only visible through the eyes of my kind. That would grant special privileges if you ever happen to find yourself in the overhang district of Avernus.
Got it.
However, what? You said got it?
Yes.
However, so long as you bear this mark, I will. Well, the mark will become null and void if you make deals with devils not aligned with my master. Essentially, this is as far as your allegiances go to devil kind, as take that as you will. Just assurances that it's to us. And I assure you that you will not be wanting.
You see, I need to get to the Hells for a reason of particular, maybe urgency, which complicates the last bit of what you said.
Kind of waves her hand as if writing in the midair. Going forward, then.
Okay. I mean, I think that's. I find it likely that I may be in need of this.
A contract materializes before you, much like it did before Persephone. 2 lines at the bottom, one for you should you accept, the details of which being that, let's start with what you just went over. You'll each be branded with a mark to those with devil's sight, essentially, on the recipient's, say, left forearm, that will grant them special privileges within the overhang district of Avernus amongst those aligned with Zeriel and E, and that basically written out there. This will become null and void, as well as including a forfeiture of 10,000 days of your life if you break the contract and make a deal with another devil not aligned with them. The next part is the original deal, which says that the recipient, the 2 of you, will gain the ability to close rifts abyssal in nature, utilizing life force of equal to or greater than that required to open the rift, as well as the ability to utilizing the same general like life force, open rifts into pre-chosen, pre-approved, predestined, basically, areas of the hells. Essentially, that it means you're not going to get anywhere that's vital, like nothing that could be used to damage or harm the hells, because that would be silly of them to let you do that. Here
Oh,
you go, teleport into the bank vault.
well, I mean, these are safe areas to teleport to, right? They're not instantaneously death.
Not like you're in the middle of a lava pool.
Yeah. I
Just
mean, we've
somewhere
got a
kind of
glyph
like
left.
inconsequential. E assures you they're safe as the final glyph is beginning to fade. Is close to fading. You also notice the fine print changed from a day to a day a week until the vial is filled. However, there is a clause. And since I agreed to significantly lower the price, 1/7, it's quite a haggle, she says, looking to suggestion. A simple clause that if you miss a week or choose not to, then the power is revoked and a 10,000 day severance fee will be imparted immediately.
Here's the real important detail. No, that's silly. No, it's fine. It's just 10,000 days is quite a long time. It's not like we age, right?
I'm not sure.
Because being like, 30 years older is kind of a problem.
Well, do we have a deal? The faintest bit of light remains in the glyph. As the two of you stand there, contract presented, thinking to yourselves, glancing at each other, reading over and over the print and terms and understanding. Is there any questions that you guys have in or out?
Can I pay in full in advance? Because all of this nonsense about week and
Hmm. Much rather it be at regular intervals. It's a
More beneficial.
logistical
If
thing on our end. No need to worry yourself about it.
imagine, Persephone, you miss a week.
You have a full 7 days, certainly. You'll have time at one of them for a little bit of a pinprick.
How do we even prick her finger?
She's gonna provide you with the needles and the vials.
Oh. Wait, we have to take care of the vial and the needle?
Yeah. It explains it's not a simple vial, not a normal needle. It's just the mechanism by which the payment will be accepted. So obviously there's some magical infernal stuff going on that's going to convert this blood and the drawn with that needle to the life force that they need to do whatever they're doing with that life. So it is all very specific, yes. I wouldn't worry about the durability of the needle nor the vial, though. Constructed in the hells, they can stand up to quite the beating.
constructed in the hells, you say?
Well, where else? The final glyph has faded, and she notices, like, I'm not afraid to continue negotiating. It seems we're close to a deal.
What do you think? Suggestion?
I think it a little bit foolish to go for the first deal we're offered. I don't know about you. I haven't certainly been offered any other deal.
Oh, this is the second, but who's counting?
Hmm.
No, this might be necessary for the first.
Kind of cocks his head there. Interesting.
Yeah, I do believe I've been thinking about it all wrong. It's quite a.
The addition of the mark and the addition of the clause. I don't know.
What?
Makes me believe that, well, if you can mark me with some sort of symbol you believe is favorable in the hells, well then, wouldn't others also be able to offer similar things?
I have no doubt that they would. But it all matters on who you rather ally yourselves with. And I can say that, well, judging by what you have said thus far, what you have spoken with Nilo, you will find no ally more steadfast in the destruction of the abyss than Zariel herself.
Believe that to be what you believe is true. That is
This is what I
significant
know
enough
is
through the magics that we are under the effects of.
oh, the circle is no more. We've been able to lie for some time now.
Well, previously, you had mentioned
Yes.
that there's no greater force against the demons in the hells than Zariel. Zariel.
Correct. While others busy, it is the reason why she is no longer Duchess of the First. While others are busying away, jousting for a position politically, she is solely focused on the destruction of demons, and that is what lost her position in the first place. Even so, she does not stop. She is single minded in her hatred for the demons and everything they stand for.
Is it possible to make the deal without the mark?
Certainly.
If anything, simply the offering of the mark made it less expensive.
Well, the contract shifts, the words change to reflect that. No need to include that. The base deal remains unchanged, the day a week for suggestion. However, that initial clause, the promise of privileges from those aligned with Zaria at the cost of not making deals with those outside of that faction, remains for Persephone's side.
You see, it's a bit impossible. I'm kind of. Forged in the hells. Forged in the hells. Yes, yes, yes. What interests, like, what, what are the rules there? To behave differently. I mean, could you forge? I mean, what couldn't you forge? I mean, it sounds like, uh, but that's not really a reason to go ahead. I mean, it is, but it isn't. But it's part of the reason. And yes, okay. And she signs the contract.
Okay. As Persephone signs the contract, there's a momentary burning on your arm as if being branded. And for a moment, you look down on the underside of your left forearm, and there is what looks like the symbol of it's a burning halo above two wings, one feathery and angelic, the other leathery and devil-like, bat-like. And for a moment, that stays emblazoned on you like a branded animal before it fades away until you can't see it.
You know, Fred said there had to be a balance. I suppose that works.
And from her hand to yours, the one of the needles, one of the vials.
I suppose I will immediately prick my
Okay.
finger and put a drop
You go
in.
to you go to open the glass stopper for the vial, and it does not come undone immediately. It's you're not able to get the glass stopper for the vial open. It seems to be sealed magically or otherwise, and E looks to you as you're doing that. Once your friend here has decided which path they'll take, then everything will be all set up and ready to go.
Hmm.
Interesting. So she is not able to make the deal herself without me along for the ride.
Oh, she's made the deal, but it's just a simple matter of um basically every part of the deal being enacted, going into play once we settle here. You don't need to say yes, you don't need to sign, but you need to tell me one way or another whether or not we have a deal. At which point, then everything will be in play.
I would like to keep my options open.
She smiles. So you negotiate me down from a day to a day a weekend. All of that to not even make a deal. You are quite the rude one. And the contract goes up in smoke. Persephone, you find yourself able to open the vial from the stopper. E looking a bit amused uh in suggestions direction. You see almost like a kindred spirit looking into the eyes of a kindred spirit is what she seems, that and maybe a little bit of I don't know. I don't know what Suggestion's looking like right now.
I'm smiling from ear to ear.
And she, in turn, is using Nilo's face to smile back, almost like you two are sharing some kind of secret. She is a bit smug as well, but does not speak. And instead, you see a little bit of a jolt. The eyes shift back to Nilo's base eye color, and you can tell by the demeanor shift that E is gone. Persephone, you're able to unstopper it. The smug look from E still imprinted on Nilo's face for a moment.
I don't believe I even got your name through all of that.
Sorry. How long has it Ben, when they take over, I lose track of time. My name is Nilo. Did
Nyla.
you end up making a bargain with them?
I suppose you can say we got what we came for.
He nods. That is part of my deal. If we are in some way connected now, in order to maintain the powers given and not pay a hefty fee, I have to bring in front of her potential new partners.
It's interesting. Didn't get any nice bargain like that.
I can't say. Oh, it must be that she negotiates differently with different people. Like I said, it's not like I feel she is present whenever she wishes to be. Though when she takes control, it's like falling unconscious. I am not aware.
Is she present now?
I cannot say. Perhaps. Persephone, you doing anything?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing what I was going to do originally.
As soon as E's presence kind of faded, had that little stare down and smug off with suggestion, and faded back to Nilo, the vial, the glass stopper came unstuck, and you were able to easily remove it from the top of the vial.
You know, she says she doesn't like politics, but that's all it seems like, It's all just politics all the way down, all the way to the hells, apparently. And ouch. But there, it's done.
So she's saying this as she goes and takes the needle and pricks her finger. A good drop of blood dripping from Persephone's finger down into the vial, where it immediately hisses, sizzles, and evaporates.
Perfect. Never. Wonderful.
Seemingly against his will, a wide smile appears on Nilo's face before he sort of catches himself and brings a hand up to looking like, why did I just do that? Anyways, let's take a break.
Wow.
Mhm. Bueno.
What a.
Bueno.
Damn. I just said
suggestion, Persephone, begin to head back towards the campfire, currently absent of any of your compatriots. But you do see them huddled some ways away in a small open field. Ezekiel, Melody, Frederica, Francesca, and Bishop, as well as the two members of Chimera that had followed Ezekiel and Fred and Melody out there, all just standing around, not really. Maybe working out, maybe just chatting. Just surprised to see that that everyone seems a bit more energetic and lively, especially considering, it's still the night that you had gotten back from the Bloodlands. But the campfire, you guys settle down near it, or you can head over there right now. The rest of the night, clearly yours. Maybe, judging by where the moon currently is, it's on its descent for sure. You have a few hours until sunrise. What's everybody doing?
I'm knocking the fuck out. I'm going to bed.
All right.
Same.
After a rousing game of Red Rover.
Yeah, I think I won, so.
Good conclusion, as far as I'm
It
concerned.
was a tie.
I was a tie. You're right.
I'm gonna high five the big guy.
Yeah, he high fives you back. A bit competitive. She's dense, isn't she?
Absolutely. You can't believe what a a game of King of the Hill would look like with her.
I'm right here. What do you?
I'm just gonna bruise. Are there any hills around here? Are there?
You know what's a good way to find out? If you throw me into the air.
Okay.
Not because
Alright.
it sounds like a. Okay.
Let's go.
Wait, what?
You've stoked my competitive spirit. Come, Frederica. And he sets up about to ready to vault a cheerleader.
All right. Well, I kind of have to see this. I'm gonna take kind of like
Mhm.
a stance where I'm gonna be like measuring out how far she goes. Like I try and like put my feet together
you
just
want
to
me
measure
just
out.
take you and hurl you, or you want to assist jumping as well?
No, I'm gonna
Oh.
watch over
I'm
it, and
asking
I'm gonna
Fred.
be. Oh.
Let me see. I don't know. Do I want to? I'm not actually going to be looking for him. Maybe I should be looking for hills.
I thought you want to get thrown in the air.
I do want to get thrown in the air. Okay. Well,
Awesome.
I guess this is a tough question for me. I am dense.
I am dense. Well, it's not a question, but okay.
Okay, no, okay. All right. So, what if you just throw me with all of your strength and I just want to bonk the ground truly and see how much I can truly bonk the ground? Does that sound?
You want to come down? You want to smack the ground with that?
I want to just, yeah, hell yeah. Yes.
Okay.
The mission now.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see how this goes.
I'm taking a cheerleader stance.
Okay.
Bro.
Alrighty. So. With a natural 20.
Natural 20.
Hell yeah.
So, He
Of
takes
course.
you basically hooking his, not hooking, but like placing his hands, the heels of his hands together, getting your feet underneath, and then with a powerful, like from a squat position, just rocketing upward, his muscular Goliath arms, leave his palms at a height of about 8.5 feet and continue upwards for about another 15. And from your point, you are now staring down a bit over 20 feet in the air. Everyone, you can see the whole of your group and the campfire and all of that. And you have your hammer out as the wind begins to rush up into your face and through your hair as gravity takes hold.
Wait. Can I use Get Me There to go even further?
Even further. Okay. So
Even
Beyond.
even further beyond, as you feel, as your ascent begins to slow, you feel gravity begin to take hold. You smash your hammer down onto the air itself, and with a burst of wind, give yourself an extra 15 feet of height and propulsion, take you to nearly 40 feet into the air.
Wow, this is almost concerning. Okay, let me.
You know,
Go,
arms
okay.
down, your cheeks flapping in the wind. Go ahead and make a strength check.
You've got this, Fred.
As you watch Frederica rocket towards the ground, breaking the sound barrier.
This is somehow not concerning to Ezekiel at the moment.
Yeah, Ezekiel somehow spawned pom poms and like,
Yeah.
"Whee!"
He has 2 light spells on his fist. Or
Yo, I
2
forgot.
light
What
fingers.
am I rolling for? I got too
Strength to
excited.
make it like just an attack.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
You wanna hit the ground.
2 light pom poms is crazy.
Eh, 12.
With the added as you're rocketing down, you don't exactly get the the trajectory of your hammer swing exactly. You're not used to swinging a hammer while plummeting from 40 feet in the air, but the force certainly is there. And if anyone else was not aware of your antics, they are when the sound of the earth rumbling and quaking beneath your impact, like a meteor falling from the sky, you leave a bit of a crater, not a crazy amount, but definitely like a solid foot and a half of just this indent in the ground. As let's see, uh, you take 19 points of bludgeoning damage from the.
Oh.
I'm disappointed and
I
hurt.
mean, Frederica laying there in a Frederica-sized.
I'll just look at the clouds. I think there are clouds. Maybe there's no clouds. It's dark. I look at the
There are certainly
stars.
stars. There are certainly stars, and they are currently flitting around your head right.
That was awesome!
Could be better. But you did amazing. You threw me.
Well, yes. Well, I feel like this is what you were getting to from the beginning. Why? I didn't
Or
realize
just
that when
closes
you
her
brought this
eyes.
up before. I mean,
Why not?
this works. I think I understand.
Fred sleeps.
Nods and he walks over to Ezekiel.
That was awesome. You threw her so high up.
I think I get it. There's something about being the one that usually does the throwing, you know? You always wonder what it's like on the other side.
Yeah, that does make sense. I
Well,
think I can't remember if she's chucked me before or not, but there's a certain thrill to it.
He nods, and you can see that there's a bit of like, I'll have to take your word for that. You can imagine he's not one that gets
No.
thrown around too often, so one day
A bit of
maybe I'll
envy.
know what to be thrown, to find
Oh.
someone to throw, and who can throw me. I'm a simple man.
Fred opens one eye.
He needs someone with 9th level catapult.
Yeah.
Well, didn't I throw an ogress once? I think
You did.
Oh
You
shit,
did.
true.
You-
At a carnival. you
sits back
did.
up.
Yeah, you did. You picked her up.
She just rising from her slumber.
I remember you got me food. That food was delicious. Oh, the carnival meat.
Fred's gonna
It's
get
so
up
tender.
Mm-hmm.
silently and dramatically, walking towards his name, who I don't remember. Hey, you.
As she walks up, I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder and give her guidance.
Okay.
You've got
I'll
this.
throw you.
Looking down at you, his arms still crossed. You kind of like snapped him out of his thought.
I'll throw you. I think. I know.
It's not that I necessarily don't think you could. I've felt how strong you are. But, I mean, I and the rest of Chimera, even before our time in, fought many people, many foes, either in alleyways, taverns, sanctioned fights, and the like. And since joining the Wardens, fought a number of fiends, demons, devils alike. And not once have I been manhandled or tossed aside. It's not that I doubt your strength, I just don't know if I'm ready to be disappointed
Oh my!
quite yet.
You throw him, Frederica. This guy needs a good throwing.
Thank you for not doubting my strength.
I
And I
believe in you
can
fully.
very well throw you. If you so choose to, of course. However, I will say it is quite nice to leave a mark. And I think you'd leave quite the mark over there. And I point out a random spot.
All right. He tentatively follows you over to that spot, taking his great hammer along over his shoulder as he does. You can see there's a bit of nervousness in the face of the Goliath.
Frederica's gonna do Fred math and walk around. You know,
Mm-hmm.
how is she gonna throw him? Is she gonna up? Is she gonna swing him? Is she gonna like? I don't know. Maybe like you know how people throw rocks, like that, like those big ass balls.
Chocolate?
Oh, okay. Like I was like, what are you talking about? Skipping stones? What do you mean?
Sorry, I was.
Oh, a shock.
It was
Yeah.
not specific enough.
Shot? You're gonna shot put him? What you want him to sit in your hand? What is? How do you?
No, just
Don't
grab
they
him by
like
the legs
spin
and
around
swing.
in a circle before they throw
Yeah.
the shot put
Yeah.
too? You're gonna make him dizzy
Like
and
just-
throw him?
That's how I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna throw him. That's up to him after that.
You know how the
Why?
Hulk throws Wolverine? You're gonna throw him like that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Doesn't he throw him like a fucking ball?
Yes, Russ, on the fastball special. You got the fastball special, this guy.
Sorry, okay. Hold on.
I believe in you.
Actually, hold on. I need to actually see something in my little.
We have to visualize this before it happens.
No.
Okay. So what are you doing?
Right now, I'm
What-
looking to see
what
if I have
form?
another rage.
Oh, okay.
Form. What do you mean? Like how I'm throwing him?
Yeah.
I'm swinging. I'm swinging and throwing him into the air. Like, hold on.
Okay.
Like what, you're having him like balance on your hammer and then like yeeting him?
Mm. Maybe I'll
You're gonna
like
smack him in the jaw with your hammer and send him.
No.
far he goes.
Okay, well, I'll leave my hammer. My I'll leave it on the ground. Okay, but
Mhm.
I'll maybe put him on my hands and lift him up with just my hands because I'm that strong in my mind.
Mhm.
And then I grab him by his legs or his feet and then swing until there's enough. What?
Force to launch.
Speed. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Thank you.
Cool.
Oh,
We're going
Mario
the,
throwing Bowser.
Backyard sibling special.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
yeah,
All right. Go ahead and
Bro, you do this, bro.
make
Hold on.
an athletics check and don't forget your guidance.
Yeah, don't forget the
I would
guidance.
have.
That's an extra D4 for you, buddy. I believe in you.
Ah, there you go. He kind of stands there stoically, statuesque.
Oh, sorry. I
as
have one more
you-
rage. So sorry. It was yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Cool.
As you kind of pace around him and size him up and sort of go in like to wrap your arms around different parts of his musculature and body just to see like where the best grip would be. I felt your strength. I think you bruised my arm when you ran through the little half elf and I.
I can't even lift
Sometimes-
my arm.
30.
You don't need to do this. I feel like you can throw me. I just maybe it's better to leave that as is rather than be proven false. I'd rather think that you are able to toss me than to find out that you truly cannot. Do you have it?
I'm gonna cross my arms. Yes, I do. And look at him.
Okay.
I'm like, just like, I'm gonna throw you.
Wait, is that a 3 in front of that 0? Okay.
30.
30.
Ezekiel
That's pretty good.
is gonna start making chicken noises at him. Sounds like you're chickening out.
I'm not. I just don't want to be let down as you grab him by like behind the quads and he's on the ground. Like he doesn't even hit the ground as you start to spin in place. You watch as this nearly 8-foot tall Goliath, with every rotation, gets more and more height until his body is parallel with the ground, until his body is more than parallel with the ground. You begin to get dizzy, Frederica, and you see, your friends, the crowd around, not around you because they're only partially around you, but you see, the area that you want to let him go. You see the crowd that's around watching, including Ezekiel and some others, and it becomes a blur as you continue to spin, pushing yourself to go faster, faster, faster. Your muscles straining. Could you make a perception check for me, please?
No.
Oh,
Add
yeah.
the D4.
You right. I'm gonna need that D4.
100%. Otherwise, he's gonna go barreling at us.
We just cue the.
15.
Okay, that's not bad. So, Ezekiel, you're cheering on as you go. Whoa,
Yeah!
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Throw that guy!
As you let him go, the Goliath goes sailing off into the darkness.
Oh my god.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
At an arc, like not quite as high as he went, because he launched you straight up, but at a solid arc, tossing him 20 feet. You see this moment. Well, not you, because you are still stumbling around dizzy from the spin, but Ezekiel, you see this moment where almost like somebody floating on their back in the middle of a serene lake. For one moment, this Goliath looks like that. His arms at his side, his eyes looking straight up at the stars and the moon passing by his vision. And he seems to float weightless, listlessly for a fraction of a second before physics and gravity takes over and he plunges down, slamming hard into the ground with a thud and a cloud of dirt and dust.
Yeah!
Oh my god. Okay, am I? And I'm just gonna plop on the ground. So dizzy.
Yeah.
That was awesome, Fred! I knew you could do it!
And now he knows too.
Yes.
Evidently.
My work here is done. Good night.
And now, Frederica, dizzy, sore, satisfied, falls asleep as she where she lay.
As things should be.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
I'm gonna go over to the guy.
Uh-huh.
How was that?
See his chest raising and rising and falling, and wide pupils dilated.
Dilated pupil.
Was incredible. He
He
looks
looks
up at you,
really
his eyes kind of focus
serene
on.
for a moment.
Was it just a moment? It felt like longer. Well, until it ended. Now it kind of hurts a little bit.
Well, it was
He sits
wonderful
up.
to see, and I'm sure it was more wonderful to have happen.
He sits up and kind of raises a leg so that he can rest his drape it over one of his knees and catches his breath and looks up at you and that woman, Frederica.
Hmm.
Do you know if say I don't know how to does she throw people often?
Well, no.
Hmm.
No, she doesn't.
See him nodding. A small smile at the corner of his lips.
Lift them, sure, but throw them, I'd say that's quite a special thing that I've only seen her throw you and a couple of monsters. But that's besides the point. I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder. That was awesome.
Yes, it was. I could use a drink. And he gets up and walks away.
All right. I thought it was gonna be like, is she seeing anyone?
Dude, is
Right.
she?
Is he gonna light a cigarette too? Like,
Ah,
Maybe.
yeah.
She so she doesn't throw people often. Do you know if that's because she doesn't want to, or just the right person hasn't come around? I mean, if if she wants this to just be kind of one-time thing, I am appreciative of. If it could be something that we, if I wouldn't mind doing it again, is all I'm saying.
Is this actually being said in character?
Yes.
Either way, my character is gonna have the same reaction as me and just laugh. Not like in an insulting way, just like it tickles me.
The giant man flushes, his cheeks turning rosy pink.
Well,
No, forget it. It was stupid. Stupid. No, it's fine.
that could be a question that you ask her if you're so interested, but
That,
um
that's awkward. That's so strange. Don't. That's no, I can't. I couldn't.
well,
I mean, I don't want to. I wouldn't want to enforce. You know, if I don't. Could you maybe ask her
yes.
for me? Ah, thank you.
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
You know what? Even better. What's your name? Just so this makes things easier.
It's auteur.
Auteur. Alright. I have a way of telling you without anyone else hearing, and I can do so from a distance. I will give you the information when I get it. I promise.
Okay, I'll look forward to it. I'll. Yes. Thank you. And he takes your
No
hand and sandwiches between his two massive mitts, and all of a sudden, even though you're still looking up at this towering humanoid Goliath, half giant man, he looks like a small child almost.
Did I hear any of this?
Depends on if you were near it or not.
I'm pretty
If
sure I wasn't really
if you
close to
like kind
Ezekiel.
of like if you snuck up on Ezekiel, sure.
Just taking notes. I'm just gonna walk back to where Frederica is at, and maybe sleep.
She's sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe sleep right next to her. Tell her
Alright.
some stuff in the morning.
Alright. So Otier goes and heads back towards his camp. The female that was with him joins, and you can see what was all of that about. You wouldn't understand. And they head back.
you would.
So, Melody, Frederica, asleep. What about everybody else?
if I saw any of that, I'm going to sleep.
And what if you didn't?
I'm still going to sleep.
Got it. Good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna find a nice tree to lean against and go into my inert state for my 4 hours. You power down to
Yeah.
sleep mode.
Eco mode engage. All right. So, so that leaves Ezekiel, Persephone, and Suggestion.
I would hang around. I would hang around the fire for like a couple more minutes before I go to sleep myself. Just wind down as it is.
Gotcha. So it seems everybody, though not in, around the campfire necessarily. Frederica and Melody kind of a ways away, just out in the field. But it seems like everybody else, other than Suggestion and Persephone, have gone to bed. Anything you two want to do, or off to bed with you guys as well? Obviously, you just got done with that and came back to that.
If Suggestion is nearby, I would just be like, so do you really have a little brother?
That's random to bring up now.
Yes, but that's not an answer. I'm asking because it's my older sister. She was part of the Wardens, one of the original ones, and, well, she went missing and nobody knows. Well, I mean, they said she died, but they don't know. They didn't find her body or anything. And of course, there's no one to look for her.
Perhaps not too random then. Was this in relation to the whole bit of the going forward portion
Well, yes.
for that deal?
Yeah, so do you have a little brother?
I can understand where you're coming from.
It's just the idea that, she could be out there in that where we just were, and nobody, eh, they're not looking for her. They didn't. I mean, I understand, but also I don't.
Did your previous deal help in any way to enlighten you of your older sister's whereabouts?
Well, I mean, not yet. The particulars aren't really that complicated, though. I hadn't really fully. It's just that there was a devil wearing her face, and so it made me think maybe they know more about her. It was weird, it was strange, it was uncanny, and I was certain that she must be out there somewhere. That someone knows something somewhere.
Well, surely that is true. However, a devil wearing someone's face, I don't know. They seem crafty, verily.
Indeed, but if there's even the slightest hope, that she's waiting somewhere, for help, for anything. I mean, I can't say that I don't blame myself because obviously I do. And Frederica needs her, probably even more than I do. And so, yeah, I mean, the deal is if I defeat this devil, the first one, he'll help me find her, Francesca, my Francesca, my Frank.
Goodness, that's all.
Hmm.
Well, Stephanie, that should be quite simple.
Well, I mean, but if I die, he gets my soul, so that's the deal. But I've come to realize that I don't think he's even going to bother,
Hmm.
which is why this latest deal really appealed to me. Because I think I'm going to need to go find this first devil and, either drag him from the hills or murder him there. Who knows? Defeat. I guess I had to kill him, so because that's how we found out that they come back.
You'll need to drag him here then.
Yes.
And dispose of him if there's information that he has that he can give you.
Well, the information only comes if I defeat him.
That is almost certain. I wouldn't worry that bit.
But it's like, what wouldn't you do? What wouldn't anybody do to make this stop, to make all of this terribleness just go away? I mean, it's bad enough when we're fighting the Dominion, but this is something totally different. This is.
I believe you have a piece of that puzzle. Well, we both do. In the information that we've gathered today alone. More than just fighting the demons and the devils on our plane and sending them back. It's a small step, sure, but a step nonetheless. Something different than the standard.
So, now that time really is ticking, I don't know, I'm not really. I feel like maybe I should be worried, but I'm just kind of excited. I just feel like it's progress. It's something that we're something being done about it, not just holding a line or drawing lines in the dirt. More lines. So many lines.
And relatively, I would hope, simple way to enter the first. And even some weight there, it seems. I'm sure you can find this devil quite easily. And when you do, we can beat him together.
I appreciate that. I mean, really, and you're very gifted. You know,
I've just been through a lot.
I felt a bit bad for the blacksmith in that small village, but it really did. It was crucial. The materials you got for me, I used it in the Bloodlands. That's how we held the line, because they didn't have what they needed. And I did because of you.
This was in part almost no different. Something that Sudlaw has said often, and something I believe is the very foundation of all of the wardens, it seems. The needs to do what need be done.
Yeah, you're right. It's like, it's years, but are they important years? Probably not. Not as important as ending this somehow, or at least making progress towards it.
And I mean, I meant what I said earlier, before we were speaking with Nilo. Or rather, during, but when we were speaking with everyone around. You have a means of entering exactly the home of the person who made this deal with you. He's gonna kind of look around to check if Nilo's still sleeping.
Yeah, he's always away. The Chimera group camp is not within, earshot of you guys generally, unless you shout.
Who's to say your little trip to this Avernus can't be killing two birds with one stone?
It's not a bad thought. But
It pays to think ahead. And stay positive.
I'm not too worried. I'm a bit, I suppose disappointed in myself that I didn't figure it out sooner. I guess it was something that, actually being there in the Bloodlands and realizing that, all that Devil had to do was wait. Soon enough, I'd get myself murdered somehow, by something.
Probably favorable for them, but you don't seem like the type to just go away quietly in the night.
Hopefully not. But yeah, I mean, there isn't. I don't know, really. I just really wanted you to know that I appreciate what you've done. And also, perhaps, a bit of discretion might be warranted. There were months that went by the last time I made a deal. So, angry months.
Hmm. What do you mean?
Oh, just, you know, most people don't respond the way you do or have when a deal is struck. Especially a deal like that. And then, like what the devil said, is actually really quite interesting because, the Kieran blessed us, but that's just the same thing, isn't it? Bestowed a power on us for, a purpose. Because, well, we helped, but, so we'd already paid the price. It's, it's the same, isn't it?
The whole world is a chessboard, and we are mere pieces.
Seems like the game could do with some modifications.
Who says we can't change the rules a bit?
You're right. And I suppose it means we're on watch. Maybe we should be watching.
I do wish we can sacrifice a bit of daylight.
As you guys sit there, occasionally catching yourselves drifting off to sleep as the moon continues its descent in the sky. The first glow of the morning to come beginning to show on the horizon. Everyone else able to get their sleep. The hours pass. morning comes. Little after dawn, Suggestion and Persephone, the two of you, pretty tired. Obviously, haven't slept. Had the whole foray into the Bloodlands. You notice. You hear the sound of grass crunching beneath boots, and over towards the camp of Chimera Group, you can see Nilo pacing back and forth. Seems to have woken up. But he's the only one other than the two of you.
Oh, that's good. Nilo's awoken. He does seem concerned, though. Hmm.
He sees the two. Begins to head over. His one of his fingers curled and raised to pondering. You two been awake this whole time.
No one else particularly offered to watch.
Sorry. It didn't cross my mind, but also wasn't expecting to wake up this morning.
What?
Well, what I mean by that is I expected to be woken before now. The
Is
others
this something?
seem to have been gone longer than you.
Oh. Into the Bloodlands. Perhaps. Perhaps not. I'm not sure. I wouldn't worry about it. They're with Sundar after all.
You know,
Yes.
Sunil brought them and hadn't rested, so it's reasonable that perhaps he needed to. You know, they needed to rest there before returning here.
He nods. Yes, I guess I'm not thinking straight. Well, since I'm up, the two of you should get some sleep. I'll take over. I'll wake a couple of. I'll get my people up. I'll get Chimera up. Your group needs the rest.
Appreciate it.
Nods and heads back to his group and slowly begins to rouse them from. By the time mid morning comes, that's when the rest of you begin to naturally awaken. Sometime maybe an hour and a half before noon or so. Francesca, you would have been able to be up and about before that.
Yeah, I would have just kind of chilled and like listened to hear what's going on, make sure I don't hear them coming back from the Bloodlands or anything like that. Kind of look over and make sure that Persephone and Suggestion know that I'm awake now and like they can go chill.
Yeah. So by the time the rest of you do wake up, Suggestion and Persephone are knocked out. A bit desynced with the rest of you, but you wake up and you can smell some food being prepared in the nearby camp. Nothing particularly mouthwatering. It's sustenance. As Chimera Group is all awake, you guys are up. It's a cool morning, not uncomfortable, pretty pleasant, pretty peaceful, clear skies. Nothing amiss. And the day continues that way. The sun makes its way to its apex and beyond into the afternoon. Nothing much exciting, nothing much other than each other's company, the sound of the breeze rustling nearby trees, birds, local fauna. It's quiet.
Say, were we gone for this long in the Bloodlands? I don't. It's been a while. What do you think, Fred?
Oh, 1 second.
Okay. You know, Fred, lovely weather we're having. Well, fine. The cold shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what? Persephone. I'm going
Is
to go over
sleeping.
to her. Ah, she's sleeping.
Mm-hmm. You've got
That's where
Bishop,
she is.
Melody.
Man, I need an adult.
I need to talk to somebody.
I need someone.
Well,
Bishop.
yeah, because it wasn't showing up.
Oh damn.
Oh, I can hear.
What am I,
Oh my
chopped the
God.
liver, Ezekiel? What the hell?
Seriously.
I don't know you, bub. Guys,
You hear me
You
now?
get to know her.
True, you can.
fellas.
Hate bond. She's
Oh
receptive
my
to that, it
fellas.
seems.
All my fellas.
That's how Bishop did it.
Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, true.
Were we? You know what, everyone? How about that? Were we gone for this long? This is kind of pressing at this point.
From what it appeared, we were only gone for perhaps the night. I mean, Chimera Group did not act like we were gone for very long.
Right.
Um, yeah, it didn't seem like it was that long. I mean, felt like a few hours at most.
Right. It's just been, we're well into the afternoon by now, or I guess at the beginning of it, maybe not well in, but um, it's still nothing. I can reach out if we need. I'm kind of concerned.
I mean, if you are concerned and it's been longer than us being there, I think it would be a smart idea to reach out just to be sure.
It would not be outrageous to assume something bad happened. It was quite dangerous when we were there ourselves, and Sunlar was already using his abilities with us without arrest. Who knows?
Right. All right. I'm going to cast sending to Sunlar.
Okay.
Hey, Sunlar. Everyone here is and me are wondering if everything's okay over there. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Well, concise within the 25-word limit for sure.
I had to use the extra 2 words with yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I just had to fill them up, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so scared for no response. Please be
Let me tell you something.
You
Let me
wait.
tell you something.
It's only been like 10 seconds or so, but that soon becomes a half minute to near a full one without a response.
Ezekiel noticeably his face turns. Where there was a very relaxed look to a more concerned look is now a very like grim, anxious mess. No, nothing yet. Uh, in a second.
How about now?
After
Eh,
about 2 minutes, you still haven't gotten a response.
um, well,
Maybe he's just really busy. I mean, yeah, you saw it was out there. I mean,
right, but he wouldn't have to do anything more than speak back. It's not
Perhaps your
like
message was interfered.
yeah, or perhaps he
it
doesn't have
could.
even a moment to, to spare on thinking about a message. I mean,
Hmm,
if the man is busy. The man is busy. I mean, I don't think you want him to die because he's trying to think of a way to respond to you.
like, I don't know.
But it does raise the question of how long do we wait here before we, I don't know, do something else?
You know, it, you know what? You're right. It could have not went through. Um, I'll try again, I guess. I'm going to do another sending spell.
Okay. Same message, more or less.
Yep. Except this time I'm also adding that I didn't, the last sending spell didn't work. So I'm going to say the last sending spell didn't work. So here we go. And I'm going to say the same thing.
All right. Nothing.
Oh.
About your cousin. Um, what was his
Right. Uh,
Valen?
Yeah.
Ezekiel's still staring off, waiting for a response. Did you say something?
Yeah. Well, I thought maybe you try somebody else, like Balin. So if Soonlar
Well,
can't answer, maybe.
Valen. We don't know if Valen even had contact with him this time around. But I suppose
But
it
it
couldn't
could
hurt.
be a way of making sure your sending is actually going through. I mean, if there is something wrong with the Bloodlands, then nobody would receive your message, right?
Right. You know what? That's fair. All right. Sending spell.
Mm-hmm. To Valen.
Valen. I'm trying to reach out to see if Sunlar is okay. He's taken a bit more time than expected. And this is also somewhat of a test to see if sending works in the Bloodlands. And
Mm-hmm. You get a response. Valen's voice comes back. If this really is you, Ezekiel, then let me be the first to apologize. But can't be quite answering every voice that pops into our heads out here. Listen, you can readily prove yourself as you say you are. You're not going to get anything out of me.
oh, for the love of hell. Okay. Um.
Yo,
For
You,
the love of
the
hell,
spell point
it
tax
does
simulator.
work.
Let's go, bro.
It does work. I got to hear from Valen, but he understandably doesn't know if the voice in his head is me. Okay, let me uh
Well,
Puff
try,
it
try
up,
to
buddy.
bring up
we have sending
fine.
stones. We have sending stones to actually talk to somebody who might have
We do
information.
have-
You know,
we
like
do
the
have-
sending stones instead of using all your spells. You know,
No,
I'm
no, let
using
him do
another
Kieran
it.
spell
group.
point.
Let him pay
no,
the
no,
tax.
no, no, no. Let him.
Let him pay the tax.
Let him do
I'm
it.
using another
Be
spending.
useless for
That's
this.
crazy.
Be useless.
Valen.
And then a portal opens.
Oh.
Yeah,
No, please don't.
because the sending stone does go to Soonlar directly now, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it does.
That would be a great way to. Anyways.
Valen, there was one time where I'd come to you, oh, and I was wearing, I was like, oh man,
He doesn't
this is
remember that.
embarrassing.
He doesn't remember that session. He doesn't remember it.
I'd come wearing one of the girls' outfits
What?
when I was younger, and you thought it was hilarious and started laughing at me, and I didn't understand, and you showed the whole town it, and
And
Ezekiel's hard blushing, just like embarrassed.
as he should
He
be.
said this in a whisper away from everyone else.
Oh, okay.
One
Not,
time I take an
but like
extended watch. I miss
he's
gold.
still he's still near everyone, but he said it like physically away from everyone, not like he didn't distance himself. He's just like facing the other direction. He can't look at any of them. Just hoping they didn't hear that.
Can we all roll
They
perception
could've.
checks or whatever it takes to
Oh
hear
no.
True.
Yeah, sure. Whoever wants to.
All right, perfect.
You guys were all a part of this, and then suddenly Ezekiel goes off in hushed whisper mode.
I rolled a nat 20.
Oh my god. No way.
What would so I mean he has to be able to contest it somehow. So what would this be?
Def-
Not would it be sleight of hand? Would it be like a performance thing? How what do you?
I got a 21 on my perception also, by the way.
Sounds good.
Yeah, mine is
That's
27 total, by the way,
21.
just to make sure you know.
Wow.
Sounds good. So Ezekiel, go ahead and
You know what? It's a survival. No, I'm joking. It's
yeah, survive. Yeah, that sounds good to me. No.
Because he's fighting for his
No.
life right now.
I'm fighting for my motherfucking life.
My social status is on the line. My social life is I'm fighting for the survival.
Whatever it be, I am rolling.
Go for performance. Go for.
Oh, it's a 4. Oh,
So you think you're being quiet?
yeah.
So anyone who's who rolled higher than a 4, you guys could overhear.
yes.
Oh.
Wait, did we? Everybody?
Oh no. I hope everyone
Yeah,
rolled
you know-
higher than a
oh,
4.
we're gonna get to have this interaction? Are we? What? Wait.
Oh,
Awesome.
we're
Okay.
waiting on Valen to respond.
Yeah, so we got. Yeah, you can roll too.
Yep, suggestion even in his sleep somehow.
Yeah. Everybody just roll. Whatever.
Wow, that's
So
crazy.
For some
You
reason
would
that
roll.
night suggestion you dream of Ezekiel in women's clothing.
Yeah.
Not the oddest thing, I guess, this day.
You don't know why,
That-
but somehow that's
So
made its way
rancid.
into your subconscious, and you wake up with.
I'm just gonna like look over at Bishop when I hear Ezekiel say this. I'm just gonna like look at Bishop and like raise my eyebrow. Like, you hear what I'm hearing?
What does that look
Yeah,
like?
Like the
Explain that
eyes
one
in a
to me.
spark or something.
It's like it's like the eye sockets kind of like widen of the armor. You know, like they're like
The widen up the arm.
Oh my god, the visor comes up.
No, she's got like the eyebrows over the arm.
yeah. It's like how dogs don't have eyebrows, but like they've got eyebrows. You know?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so your helmet is like malleable.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is rancid.
Did I just
I'm
hear
gonna
that
look
right?
back. I'm gonna look back to see if everyone's looking at me or not. And when I do, I was 6.
Yeah. Yeah, of course that's what it was, buddy. I mean, that's why you like wearing the dressy garments now, huh?
Yes, I'm sure
God.
we have all had a phase
Yeah.
at one point or
Not
another.
quite. That
I
was
don't think he's
just.
I don't think he's ever outgrown that phase, to be honest. I mean, not that I'm here to judge. I mean, if you want to dress, you dress how you want to dress.
Yes, we would appreciate your efforts for the team, regardless of how you dress yourself. It is okay.
I'm just gonna like curl into a ball.
I can help you pick out a new outfit if you want next time we're in town.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. Leave me
No.
alone.
Or
They
alternatively, I
look
could help
so
you pick out the new
similar.
outfit.
It's not my fault.
It's basically all.
Yes. There's only one.
It's all
There's one
skirt.
seam. It's only the difference is only like the seams are on the left side instead of the right. It's not.
Actually, Melody's pretty fashionable. I mean, she could probably give you some pointers. Rap Melody?
No.
What's wrong with my outfit, Bishop?
Hey, nothing's wrong with your outfit, to be honest. It's a damn fine outfit. I'm just trying to get as much people as possible to help him out.
We need to dress Francesca.
He does need a
Just
lot of help.
Put a necktie on her and that.
I've got my beautiful cape of billowing. That's all I
Oh,
need.
you do. Yeah, that's what I need.
It's in good hands.
So, Valen responds. You can tell that his response is measured, still not trying to give away crucial information potentially. Starts with a sigh. They are busy.
All of that just for they are busy.
And you know what I'm gonna hit you with?
Mm-hmm.
Where
Hmm.
is it?
Oh no,
Where's she?
that's horrible. I'm gonna go die.
All right.
Well, they're busy, I guess. So that hopefully means they're alive.
They're busy being dead. Huh.
They're busy. Gotcha.
All right. Later in the afternoon, Persephone and Suggestion wake up, and you can see, you can hear the rumors and the talking going on between Merrick, talking about, they're beginning to worry themselves. How long are we going to wait around here? It's the first time you see a few more members of the group. A dwarf clad in leathers, a robe wearing female dragonborn, as well, fully armored individual. At least you can see he's still wearing the greaves and the gauntlets. Currently, the chest piece is resting at the campsite, as well as his helmet. 3 more members of the Chimera group that you didn't meet the previous night. You see them discussing, talking. And how long are we going to wait? Surely we're not just going to stay here for, an indefinite amount of time. And they're just talking. Ezekiel, come here.
Okay. Ezekiel's gonna get up, kind of
Pardon
like,
me a moment. I just have to speak with this member of Kirin for a bit. Maybe they'll have answers. I saw him weaving some magics earlier and talking. So I'll find out what he knows. Walks you away. So, did you ever get to?
oh no, I no, I didn't. Not yet. I can ask her in a second.
Okay. He looks back to his group, his arm around your shoulder. I mean, kind of talked myself into a little bit of a corner. Maybe you were talked. What did you do? You gotta give. I gotta go back to the.
Oh
book,
yeah.
something. What did?
No, I did. So
Mhm.
I talked to someone on the front lines that I know
Mhm.
from my village. He
Mhm.
said they were busy and kind of just
Oh,
left it at that, but
your
that
village.
implies
That's
they're
a small
alive.
world,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Just glancing back to
So
Frederica now.
I can ask her casually later.
Yeah, ideally casually. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, of course,
I mean,
of course.
don't make it too weird. You know?
Well, no, yeah, I know.
Yeah, like if you could bring it up like naturally, like normal.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't don't make it seem like I asked you to ask.
Oh,
Of course,
of course.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
I won't even look in your general direction.
Yeah,
You know.
you don't even have to like
Yeah.
you don't even have to like mention me by name. You don't just
Yeah.
be
No,
that guy.
of
I
course.
could be that guy. I'm okay with being that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Good.
Right.
Slaps you on the back.
Little
and-
handshake.
Yep.
Handshake, a slap on the back for each of us. We both go back to our parties.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know much, but
Oh,
God.
I've never wheezed like that before.
Never wheezed like
I
that.
just wheezed so hard. Ow.
And as the afternoon crawls on, that's what we'll pick up next time.
Hold on, I got something. It's very scuffed, but I have to present this.
Mm-hmm. What are you presenting?
Oh, I got you.
Did you
I
bring
got
enough
you.
for the whole class? My Discord is lagging like shit. Anyways, thank you for everyone that tuned in. Good night. See you next time, whenever that may be.